Hey guys, Anthony, 4B4Diesel. Just a bit of a quick news flash, bit of update information for you. As most of you probably already know, we do sell you injector kits. We've got comprehensive kits that got everything in there you need for the job to replace the injectors and the E-jar gaskets, map filters, and all sorts of related things. There's about 20 different things included in there. You know, it varies. You do need to call us to finalise a purchase on that. Now, what I wanted to, we're quite innovative, always looking for ways to make it better and easier for you guys, obviously, and that's why we do the videos and the information, trying to source the tools and the cleaning dowels, the lubricants, everything, and get it in the kit if you need it. But look, what I wanted to tell you about is to do with these seals and stuff. So this is obviously a valve cover here off a 1KD, that's what we're looking at. All your standard replacement gaskets are, you obviously replace this valve cover gasket, right? Pretty obvious. Now I will say they do stay very soft and nice, and even when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, they're really soft and nice, and they don't leak. You could clean it and reuse it, but look, for the sake of the job you're doing, injectors, pipes, spending a bit of money, what's another 30, 40 bucks for a gasket, right? So we put a new one on there nice and fresh because you want it to stay sealed and closed for another 5 to 10 years as it hopefully was the first time. So we replaced that, and of course we replaced these nozzle holder seals. That's what these are, right? And there's a few reasons we replace those. Besides, look, the standard Toyota procedure when you're doing the injector replacement job is to replace that gasket and replace those seals. These are also single use only, those gaskets, like the seats under the injectors and stuff like that. Once you torque them down, that's it. Now, I'm not saying you can't reuse them. You shouldn't. They're single use only. Guaranteed they're going to work if you use them once. If you use them a second or third time, look, it's just risky, you know. You don't know what's going to happen. People do that, and if they haven't already, they'll come undone in time because the numbers are, you know, eventually it's going to let them down. So these are the standard sort of things, the valve cover gasket, the nozzle seals, that's included with every kit unless you say you don't want it. They're the kind of your standard sorts of things. Now, we've talked about these seals and the valve cover there a little bit over the years, not a lot. We haven't talked about them much. Now, this is what we've talked about, so I'll go over it again and give you the information as I see it. They generally stay pretty soft, you know, they stay pretty soft and flexible in sort of good condition like that, you know. It's not a standard replacement item on the, you know, Toyota procedure, if you like. It's kind of like a double seal, right? You've got this part out here which presses over the top of the solenoid, right? And there's also another little lip see-through there, all right, which is kind of like, it's almost like we'll call it a backup seal. Let's have a look at a couple of new ones off the valve cover, right? So same deal, right? You can see we've got one each way, so you can see that top seal, it's very soft, and that kind of like that part there, that sits over the top of the solenoid gently, and this one here, this one here presses into the solenoid. And you know, these ones here and these old ones here, you know what, it feels like these ones are even softer. The reason is that this is our test fit rocker cover, so when we do a set of injectors and get all the alignment right, this is what we use. You've seen our other video, hopefully, on how to check the injector alignment. Definitely, I'm pretty sure, definitely maybe, I've put it up on YouTube, just a short one saying, you know, check your alignment this way, check injector alignment. There's a whole lot of other information like that in 4B4Diesel VIPs, the VIP group, but all the important stuff, you know, we get it out there eventually anyway. The key thing is, right, so that they're clean, okay? So if you don't clean this valve cover back spotless, kind of like this, even cleaner, there's a few things you want to do. You want to clean it so that you can check for cracks, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at those videos because they crack at the front and the rear, usually probably from people over tightening them and tighten the front and rear corners first. But you need to clean it so you can check for cracks because this is all obviously oil soaked, and any oil in a crack, when you turn it over and you're looking at the outside of it, you know, you're going to see the oil. Is this one cracked? Just having a look. Oh, not much to see really on this one. That's pretty good actually. Anyway, I was just going to show you that while we're at it, but this one's not cracked. But you'll see the oil weeping out of the crack. So that's one reason to wash it. The other one is you get dirt and sand and stuff, same as you do around these seals, and that's why I replace these. Some they go a bit hard, but they're just dirty, filthy things. And this is near your injector inlet. You don't want to be putting that near your new injector dirty. Then you've got to spend time cleaning it. They're about $4 each. So it's like, you know what? We're just putting new ones on, right? Now, these These were about $10 each. They've come down. They're closer to about 5 or something like that anyway. It doesn't matter. The point is it wasn't a standard thing to replace, and they can be a little bit fiddly to change to get them out and back in, not damage the cover, and get them in without damaging them. So here's the info, right? They need to be clean. If you've got a speck of dirt or sand or anything just sitting here, you know, a speck of sand, it's enough to kind of hold that seal back a little bit. It only takes a little bit and the oil will just come through that gap. It kind of like sweats through there. Same deal here. It'll just hold that up a little bit, you know, and then you'll just get, it just be like an oil sweat over a long period of time. You might get oil sitting there around here. It's generally not the injector leaking or anything. It's not fuel, it's oil, and it's from these seals here leaking. So you've got to make sure they're spotlessly clean. Now, they can be a bit hard to get off these covers, not really, but you just gently, slowly wiggle, you know, make sure you got everything out the way, and they'll come off generally without damaging them. But if you get those plastic solenoids caught under this and nick that rubber there and rip a chunk out of it, which I have seen, it's rare, but I have seen it, that's where they may leak, right? So you've got to inspect these seals. You don't necessarily have to replace them, and it hasn't been a standard replacement with our injector kit until now. So we've obviously been thinking about it. We've had some feedback from some clients and regular trade customers that said, hey, I think, you know, maybe we should start including these in the injector kit. So what we're going to do, we sort of can't stand waste. We don't like replacing things that don't need to be replaced. You know, it's not about the money really. If it just doesn't need it, it's no point throwing away something that's perfectly good. So this is the deal. Pretty much anything prior to 2010. So if you're still ringing up for an injector kit for a prior to 2010 vehicle, maybe they didn't get changed the first time. Maybe you didn't realise you needed to change your injectors till now so your engine doesn't blow up, you know, crack piston. You're going to get these seals in the kit as well, okay? So it's a new thing. Nothing changes. We just throw them in there. So anything prior to 2010, if you've got a 2010 onwards, and obviously we're going to increase that, obviously, depending what the vehicle is. It might even be 210, 211, you know. Look, it's sort of... I'm thinking out loud, right? Okay, so the older ones, we're gonna put these seals in standard, of course, unless I forget. There's always a first time. But if you want these seals, if you just want new ones, say you've got a 2015 or 14 and you just want new ones, then say, can I please have those top, we'll call these the solenoid seals, the top solenoid seals, right? That's what we're gonna call them. These are the nozzle holder seals. Oh, look, I think they probably, on paperwork, Toyota probably call them that as well, but to save confusion, we're going to call these the nozzle holder seals because we always have, and we're going to call these the top injector solenoid seal or something like that. The ones that go in the valve cover, not the valve cover gasket, the ones that go in the valve cover. So let's just be clear. So if you need an injector kit, like always, give me a ring, 0490 261 013. That's the deal. Generally, we've got everything in stock all the time because we pump these out. Thanks for your support and look forward to speaking to you if you need one. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You know the deal, so you don't miss out on the next most important bit of information. Thanks, guys. See ya.